Welcome to the Bad Bitch Collective. I am your host, Demi motherfucking Cannon, and this is the space for black sheep leaders, bold conversations, and the identity upgrades required to build the business, hold the money, and live your most authentic life. If you're ready to stop shrinking and stop hiding, buckle up, babe. Let's go.
Okay, so listen, I recorded a whole episode and it was like, oh, my story and this and that and la la la. And I thought to myself, bitch, and it was all upbeat. And I thought to myself, bitch, that is just not where you're at the moment. And so scrap that, fuck that. Let's be real, let's be honest. And I want this to be inspiring to you, but I also want for you to know that it's okay to be in your mess and it's okay. Sometimes in life, we think we have to have all of the steps figured out and have all of our shit together all of the fucking time. And I want you to know that, especially if you are delving through a hard period, it's not going to feel like that. You're not going to feel like you have your shit together. You're not going to feel like you have the answers. Things are going to feel messy and scruffy, and you're going to feel all over the place. And these are the times that you're being stretched. If you right now are moving through a period where you feel like there's a lot of pressure, listen, I need you to understand that, like, astrologically, there's just a lot of shit going on. There is a lot of shit going on within the world. There is a lot of shit going on, up in the stars. There's a lot of shit going on with humanity and with consciousness. And if you are a being who is highly sensitive, whether you are aware of that or you're not, then things right now are going to feel weird and it's going to feel a little bit messy. And collectively, we are going through this like consciousness shift between what we don't want to accept anymore and how this world works. And I don't want to get deeply into politics or the fucking state of the world, okay, because it's not my area of expertise. But I do just want to acknowledge the fact that right now things feel hard, and I want to give you a space to say to you that, like, that's okay. And it's okay if you don't have everything figured out, especially if you're on this business journey. Like, girl, boy, I need you to know that throughout this, you are going to go through 1,000 ego deaths and think that you have found your thing. And then you find out you didn't yet find your thing. And there's another one, another piece of the puzzle that you haven't yet fit and that you now need to integrate and now need to figure out. And I think sometimes we get so lost inside of having everything perfectly put together, especially when you have a business, right? Speaking to solely business owners right now, you're in mentoring, you're in coaching, you're in the healing industry, or you're running a fucking business, whatever. People are coming to you for the answers, and sometimes you just don't feel like you have the fucking answers. And I'm just saying, like, it's okay. It's okay to take time. And what I would say to reflect you, I've been going through this deep little fucking identity death and figuring out what I want to do, where I want to go. I know my end vision, I know my end goal, but right now it just feels a little bit messy. Internally it feels a little bit messy, and I'm figuring out what feels aligned and what doesn't anymore. And I think what's helped me really deeply through this time is just the reminder that it's okay. It's okay not to have it all figured out, because if you had it all figured out right now, would there be space for the new things to land? And this is how life works, right? You can't fill an already full cup. If your cup is full of pressure and stress and things you think that you've got all the answers to, how can the universe, can spirit, can anybody come in to offer you any more? You can't possibly hold anymore, right? So we go through these periods where you actually need to declutter. You need to release, you need to let go of. And so for me personally, like inside of my business, that looked like releasing offers that didn't feel aligned anymore, or that I outgrew. And when you do that and you shift, especially your messaging, it takes a while for the external to catch up. It takes a while for you to really like fit into this new fucking pair of jeans that you've just put on, or those new shoes that you just bought and they're still tight as fuck, right? Like, it takes a little while for you to figure that out. And I know that you put so much pressure on yourself, and I need to just remind you, girl, man, just take a breath. Like, take a chill pill. Rome wasn't fucking built in a day. Are you going to continue gunning for the shit that you want? Yes. Does it mean that it's going to be conquered completely today? No. So I want to ask you, if you are in this period, I want you to sit down right now and just be really honest with yourself. Where are you applying pressure? And if you were to achieve those one or two things on your to-do list that you didn't actually do today, would that make a huge difference? Right? Because the thing is, when you're working with that sense of like mess and the pressure and everything's all over the place, the more pressure you apply to yourself, the less you actually have the energy and the brain space to complete the tasks, which just creates that procrastination loop, right? And then you continue feeling bad and you delve even deeper and the self-doubt spirals and you talk like to yourself like shit and then you feel like shit and then you can't post and then you can't do this and you can't do that, right? And it's this constant fucking cycle, which, like I said, can relate. That was me probably about the end of December. I was like, bitch, I don't know if I want to throw in the motherfucking towel and just burn my whole entire business to the ground and go back to work into a 9 to 5, right? That's literally how I felt because I was like, I'm so fucking confused. But what I didn't do was dip out. And, you know, we know that I work with authenticity, or if you don't know, I'm an authenticity mentor and I do help people be more authentic within their life, in their business, you know, especially inside of their content and inside of their relationships, right? And so if I had to say to myself, like, if you are going to walk the walk and talk the talk, then what would you tell a client right now? And it was like, I showed up online. I showed up messy. I showed up not having any idea. Some days I would have my shit together, some days I wouldn't, but I was consistent. And most coaches and mentors would tell you don't show up like that because, you know, it looks like chaotic, or it looks like you don't know what you're doing. When in fact, everybody fucking goes through those cycles and everybody goes through those phases. I know right now is hard it for you. Maybe it's not hard for you right now and you're fucking killing it. And I love that for you. Well done. All right. But if right now shit feels hard and it feels messy and you don't know exactly the next steps, all I'm gonna ask you to do is spend more time being present. Spend more time being in your body, because this will do loops and loops and loops and come up with more fucking problems to more solutions, and there's more problems and there's more things, and your to-do list is never gonna fucking go down. And that's just facts. And it's like, it's in these times you just have to breathe. All right? Just breathe. The less pressure that you feel internally, the easier it's going to be for you to be able to step out of this weird little fucking season. I just wanted to be real, be raw, because yeah, like I said, I recorded this whole fucking like, oh, about me, la 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 la, and everything else. And I was like, you know what? That hasn't been the truth of where you've been at lately. And if I want this podcast to be anything, I want it to be real and authentic and a reflection, because honestly, within my industry, a lot of it is bullshit. A lot of it is based around people just showing you the perfect, pretty polished 10, 20, 30K months, and they're not showing you the part where they fucking almost ripped their hair out or burnt their house down or completely bailed on their motherfucking business, okay? That's just life. And sometimes I feel like we get so addicted to, which is normal, right? We don't want to be in pain. We don't want to be in discomfort, but we get addicted to the highlight reels of people's lives because nobody's showing you the messy parts. Nobody's showing you the hard parts. Nobody's being honest about how fucking hard it was to get to XYZ. And the other piece that's dropping right now actually is, and I've shared a little bit this in my content, but life comes in seasons. Yeah. And I know for me, last year, I had the best year of my fucking life financially within my business. Like, I fucking killed it and shit felt so easy, right? It was easy as fuck. So when I got to the end of last year and I was like, girl, what the fuck is wrong with me? That shit doesn't feel easy right now. Like, why is it feeling so hard? Why am I feeling so all over the place? And it is a multitude of things. Inside of my work, we talk a lot about identity work. And so you know, if we're out of alignment within specific parts within our lives or in our internal self, like things will start to feel a bit harder. But I also had this big revelation of like, life is going to come in seasons. It can't be summer all fucking year round. How, you know, how are the trees going to grow if there's no winter? If it's not cold and it's raining and it's fucking depressing, right? Like, how are you not going to be able to have those seasons where you need to sit internally and really do the deeper inner work? So the last couple of months for me have been really like deep shadow work, and it has felt heavy and yucky and icky. If you've gone through any healing phase in your fucking life, you know how it is. And if you have a business, you're going to have to go through that times 10, motherfucker. I'm sorry to tell you, times 10, okay? So I want you to know that there are seasons, okay? But my biggest piece of advice, like I said, was spend more time internally. Spend more time somatically, tuning into what's coming up, what thoughts are arising, right? Because when you're in the moments of discomfort, discomfort, you will automatically go back to previous rewiring, where it's like negative self-talk, doubt, all of the shit comes up, all of the emotions come up, and they come up on purpose. We think to ourselves, like, just shove them down and just move on and keep on. Well, that's how my motherfucking brain was thinking. But they're arising because they need to be looked at. We need to look at them. We need to ask ourselves if these things we want to believe anymore. We need to do the work to rewire them. So tools that you can use are things like EFT, right? I might do a little round of that, little podcast episode. We can do some EFT together. Okay. That work changed my life. Self-concept, right? Like, do you wake up in the morning and just roll fucking out of bed and expect to have a good day? Bitch, that might work for a season, but I'm telling you right now, when it's hard, you need to get up and you need to set your vibration, which means you have to do the work on top of the work you're already doing. Is that annoying? Yes, I know it is, okay? But it takes like 30 to 90 days to create a new habit, yeah? So if you were to lock that in for 30 days, you'd feel so much better. Is it a season where you need to be, doing some fucking yoga versus weights? Like, we have to be adjusting. And I think when you soften from being so rigid about how things used to be, and you understand that you're changing and your emotional body's changing and your energetic body's changing, your capacity's changing, like, what is it that you need inside of this season? So it doesn't feel like pressure, all right? And if you are stuck in this season where it does feel a little bit harder, just give yourself a break, okay? Bring it back to the basics if you need to. At a basic level, what does your human need to not feel pressure? And if that means taking it back to posting once to twice a week, fucking do it, all right? Because your small little sacrifice there, I'm not saying fucking dip off completely, all right? Because some people think, oh, I'll just take a whole year off my business, or I'll take a whole year off from my fucking soul mission. No, bitch, don't do that. Just let's pull it back a little bit to where it doesn't feel like so much pressure. What do I need at a basic level? Do I need to start eating properly? Do I need to focus on that area? Because as a holistic human, right, you can't run a successful business if you are literally hanging on by one motherfucking tooth, bitch, right? And I'm saying this to you because I'm being honest. That's where the fuck I've been at. I've been trying to run full steam ahead where I had no capacity because I wasn't looking after myself properly. And I was putting so much fucking pressure on myself to be how I used to be when I wasn't in that season anymore, right? So to wrap this one up, I love you. I know it's a hard season. And honestly, like, girl, man, if you're watching this and you're at a season and you're like, you know what, I actually don't know what it is that I need, but I'm so fucking uncomfortable inside of my business, my relationship, fucking myself, my internal self. There are ways that you can work with me. Women, Authenticity Codes is a space, or you can work with me one-on-one. Men, your only option is to work with me one-on-one because I love you and I want to dedicate all my attention and awareness to you. But inside of these spaces, we can do a big deep dive, and I'm an energetic practitioner, so we can work on the energetics as well. But we can work on the mindset side of things if we need to up level your fucking strategy or your offers and have a look at all those kinds of things. Or maybe you're feeling exhausted because you're fucking performing right now. And realistically, there is this raw dog side of you that wants to come out, but you're too scared to share it because you're scared you're going to lose followers, or you're scared your money's going to dip, or whatever the fuck the story is, right? I would love to work with you in any capacity. But like I said, I wanted to drop a real raw dog, truthful, honest episode about life's not always easy, babe. And we're going to go through seasons. And if it feels fucking hard right now, I feel you, babe, but you have to keep choosing yourself. And that's something that, regardless of how hard this last season has felt for me, I continue to choose myself and to show up for my humans, because that's a part of my soul mission and it's a value and a standard that I have. So anyway, I love you. It would mean the world to me if you would leave a little review, anything that helped you, something that you received from this, or if you wanted to share this with somebody who you feel deeply needed to hear this. I love you, and I'll see you in the next episode.
If you loved this episode, it would mean so much to me if you were to subscribe to this, and also if you were to share this with somebody who you know needs to get the fuck out of their own way and start stepping into their most authentic, wealthy, successful, bad bitch self. If you'd like to connect with me deeper, you can find me at Demi Cannon across all platforms. And if you'd like to work with me at a one-to-one or in one of my group containers, the links are down below. I love you. Go do the fucking thing.